Hello out there. Today I want to talk about a calorie deficit. No doubt you've all heard about the key to weight loss being a calorie deficit, but how exactly do you go about establishing it? You could go out and use a calorie calculator. They're not always the most accurate, but they are a good start point. I've even got a free calorie calculator you can use on my website at jonesthetrainer.com. But when you're using online calorie calculators, you kind of need to take it with a pinch of salt because there are other factors that you have to consider. For example, when you're using the calorie calculator, how are you calculating your activity levels? What even is a low, medium or high activity level? What I tend to tell people to do is try and work out what their sedentary value might be and then start to add in exercise or activity or any extra calorie burn from that. So what does make up your calorie burn? Well, to start with, you've got your basal metabolic rate, which is basically the energy that we're using just by doing nothing. On top of that, you've got your NEAT, which is your non-exercise activity thermogenesis. That's basically all the activity that you do during the day that's not planned exercise. On top of that, you have got your planned exercise. And on top of that, you've even got the thermic effect of feeding, which is how many calories it takes to process the food that you eat. So in theory, when you're trying to achieve fat loss, a 500 calorie deficit per day from your maintenance calories will mean that you lose a pound of fat a week. So that means during your week, you have to find a deficit of 3,500 calories from Monday to Sunday. Now, there are lots of ways that you can achieve your calorie deficit, either through food or activity, or ideally a combination of the two. If you think about the 3,500 calorie deficit that you're trying to achieve from Monday to Sunday, then you can probably factor in a little bit of flexibility with your eating habits and how you eat during the week. For example, if your maintenance calories are 2,000 calories per day, then to get your calorie deficit, you're going to be aiming for a net calorie intake of 1,500 a day. But that doesn't mean that you have to have necessarily 1,500 calories every day. Some people prefer a method like that, which is consistent. Some people prefer a little bit of flexibility, where maybe you're having 1,500 calories on a Monday, 2,000 calories on a Tuesday. You maybe have a fasting day on a Wednesday when your activity levels are a little bit lower. But this is where you need to be careful. If you drop your activity levels, you're also dropping the amount of calories that you're going to be burning during the day. This is why it's good to have a 10,000 step goal every single day. That way you know that you are keeping your activity levels to a set level regardless. It's unlikely you're going to correctly work out what your maintenance calories are first time. So the best you can do is try using a calculator or tracking your food for a week and try and work out roughly how many calories it is that you use each day. Once you've got a ballpark figure for your maintenance calories, that's when you need to establish your deficit. So if you establish your 500 calorie deficit and we say that you're working on around 1,600 calories per day, then you would maybe try sticking to those calories for a week and then see what happens with your eating habits and your weight. If after that week you are still not moving on the scales, you can consider reevaluating your calories so that you maybe take off another 100 calories and see what happens during that week. Once you've got your deficit right, you will start to see those scales move. Remember, a 500 calorie deficit a day will lead to a loss of 1 pound of fat per week. And once you start hitting some weight targets or circumferential measurement targets, you can then start to reevaluate what your calories are from week to week to make sure that you are getting the right amount of calories in. Now, I know if you're new to this kind of thing, it can seem a little bit overwhelming and a bit of a minefield. So if you do want any help and advice on calculating your calories and aiming for a fat loss target, get in touch with me on here, or you can head to jonesthetrainer.com to check out the website. Please feel free to share this with anyone who might benefit from this advice.